This is like a form of control.
Why? Because then they can label you?
Sure. Then you're a Nazi. It's like, you don't need to first even kill Nazis, right? So it's obviously to get you killed is part of it. But part of it is much deeper and it's spiritual, and that is that evil feeds on hate. They want more hate. So, and what's evil? How do we know if something's evil? Well, by its fruits. Is this someone who's lying, angry, promoting violence, chaos, division? That's evil. I mean, that's literally the definition of evil, and good is its opposite. It's unity, peace, happiness, love, order, cleanliness, or whatever. You know, it's the virtues are really obvious, the sins are really obvious. And so evil feeds on hate. They want more hate. So I look at someone like Mark Levin, who was a guy I used to know. You know what, I've never had strong feelings about the guy one or the other. He's all into Israel. Whatever, I don't care. Be all into Israel. I was never against Israel. I'm still not really that against Israel, but whatever. I watch Mark Levin like go down this path where he's like crazed. He's crazed. It's almost like he's being attacked by bees or something. Like there's no peace in that man at all. And I can't imagine what I'm not being mean, I'm being sincere. That guy works tirelessly to make people hate him. Same with Rabbi Buttplug. Same with a bunch of these people you see on the internet where it's like, what is this guy trying to win people over? Just the opposite. He's trying to alienate them. He's trying to make people hate him. Why? Because that's the nature of evil. It feeds on hate. And goodness feeds on love. And if you're around a decent, honest person, you just feel this like warmth and attraction and calm, right? You feel this around?
Yeah, for sure. And I think you have to trust your own guiding light at a certain point.
100 at every point.
Of what is
every point.
Good and what is not.
But you know it. We're at a stage where the only thing you can trust is God, the love of other people, and your own God-given instincts. Like that is it. That's the God, period.
Thank you so much, Taka, for sharing this knowledge about very basic human instinct that everyone has. God has given everyone this innate ability to distinguish evil and good. And here, as Taka clearly states, Israel is definitely meeting all the criteria of being considered a very evil nation. And all those pro-Israel voices think that people will agree to that nonsense. Well, people act them because of the evil side they are taking. Let's continue.
I mean, I saw this list and I'm like, well, first of all, Miss Rachel's on it. That's when they lost it. I was like, what are you guys doing? If Miss Rachel has to come out because she was obviously anti the war in Gaza, anti the genocide, and we've spoken up about it. I mean, there's no doubt in my heart and mind that it's a genocide. People can have other thoughts that they want, and that's fine. If you have your thoughts, that's great. I'm glad that you do. It just seems like that is a wrong thing. There was not a lot of question about it for me. Like I learned about the history of the land, and then I was like, this is just wrong. There's no reason that these children have to be getting killed, that they're experimenting with different weapons and different tactics on this kind of like basically this imprisoned group over there. And then when I saw this in Miss Rachel, I was like, what are we doing? Like, what do you need Bert and Ernie to come out and say that it's a genocide? Like, at what point do people not trust what they're seeing anymore? I think I'm kind of amazed that's the part that's made me think sometimes like I'm in this weird blender or aquarium. It's like, should more people speak up? Have not it almost like, why do you feel crazy for speaking up? Like, it just should feel like there's more. But then it's not my place to think that somebody else should feel the same way or should feel okay about sharing stuff. And it gets kind of scary, you know? It definitely gets super scary, you know? I think because I think you don't know you don't really know what's going on. I think that's what it is. And if they would just say, hey, America is a country that's owned by Israel, or that it's always been just this outpost, or it's this LLC of Israel, or it's this, or maybe not even of Israel. It could just be of corporate entities. I'm not really sure exactly. But if they would just tell us, then you can operate from a place of knowing what's going on. But for some reason, there's this weird secretiveness about stuff. And when things are secret, it feels evil, because it feels like it's in the dark, right? And then when you see like we're watching people dying and kids dying, and it's supposed to feel like it's just in with the next reel and the next trend dance or whatever. It just it all becomes confusing, and so those are moments where you have to lock in and, you know, just prayer, asking God, what am I supposed to do? Just trusting like the part inside of yourself that you feel like you've developed over time that's honest, I guess, or just trying to trust your heart, you know? I don't know, does that make any sense even?
Not only does it make sense, it's so beautifully expressed. Yes, it makes perfect sense.
What an expose, Tucker. If we take a look at a bigger picture, there's definitely something very strange going on behind closed doors. There are many unanswered questions, like are there really any different nations and powers? Because looking at the past 2 years, it seems quite evident that there's one only superpower, which is Israel, over whom no sanctions, no criminal charges, no UN resolutions ever hold. It does appear that the control of world affairs is in the hands of a very small number of elites, and everyone is now well aware of who they are.
There's enough evidence, but also our instincts tell us just by watching, like, what is this? And I agree with you completely. It's not just about Israel, this country. It's about whether or not self-government actually exists. Do any of these countries have a system where the people decide who their leaders are and what the country should do collectively? Or it's more complex than that. Yes, I think elections are to some extent real and all that, but in the end, big decisions are made not by nations or kings or presidents or whatever we imagine, are made by, you know, the world's richest people. And I don't think that's an ethnic group. It's not common language for the Jews. It's what it seems to be. It's the people with the biggest stake in this. Of the most to gain and the most to lose, we're never going to leave those decisions to like 3 zip codes in Pennsylvania. Like, come on.
Pose avec la caméra, le Christ.
In 5 years, what is
Il crée
what
des
am I a
images ouais,
citizen
belle.
of? If I am
La
a citizen
caméra
of a
dans
country that does genocide, am I a citizen, you know?
Je pense qu'on a affaire, hein?
I think I was watching some of the Gaza stuff and I kept thinking like, well, surely America will die at some point in time. Right? That was like my thought.
Especially since when you say genocide, you're not guessing. It's not like some propaganda term. It's the definition, and we know that not just from the video, but from the testimony of the members of the current government, hot cabinet secretaries in the current Israeli government are on tape, including this week, saying we kill them because of how they were born. Oh my God. Yeah.
Vas-y, bébé,
Smotrich, Ben Kavir. Oh, look, we need to get them out.
Let me see.
These are people who were born there.
Let me see if
Oh, it's insane.
it is.
Because look, people, you often hear apologies for what's happening there, for the atrocities, because war, people die. Okay, one of the reasons I'm not that enthusiastic about war, because innocents die. We always have to oppose the murder of innocents, or else we're not civilized. What is civilization? We're on the good side. We're civilized. They're savages. There are a lot of savages in this world. I know some. And what separates the savage from the civilized person is the civilized person will never accept the murder of innocents. You didn't do anything wrong, we can't kill you. It's that simple.
But just I don't like it if it's unfair.
But that's the definition of unfair. You didn't do anything. A child didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Or an unarmed woman did not deserve to be murdered.
And who is this?
That's Smotrich. That's the finance minister of Israel.
במסגרת המלחמה צה"ל מניע אוכלוסייה מאזורי הלחימה ולא משאיר אבן על אבן. אני אומר לכם, פשוט תסתכלו על הסרטונים.
The truth is, until the last hostage returns, we shouldn't even give water to the Gaza Strip. For a year and a half, we've been beating the hell out of Hamas. We're breaking Gaza apart, leaving it as a pile of rubble, with total unprecedented destruction in the world, and the world still hasn't stopped us. The aim is to achieve the one and only required outcome: the conquest of Gaza, the annihilation of Hamas, and the return of all the hostages. In one word, victory. So that's their view on it right there, you know?
He's saying we're killing people and leveling the country in order to move the population out. So how is that different from saying there's certain people in my capital city I don't want here, I'm going to put them on trains and leave the There's no difference. People are being killed and expelled from the place where they were born because of their bloodline. That, in the world that I grew up in, which is the United States of America, the main lesson, the lesson of World War II, the reason we fought against fascism was we reject that. We do not kill people or expel them or put them on trains or put them in internment camps or move them to third countries, as Smoshes just said, because of how they were born. Exactly, because of their bloodline. Because we don't accept that because we're Christians. We think that every person was created as an individual and we're judged as an individual. Period. We don't believe in this shit. That's the enemy of civilization right there. The Israelis, to be clear, are not the only people who think this way. Plenty of people think this way. But we are better than all of them because we don't think this way. And all of a sudden, you've got people in the United States, current United States government, you've got people in the media class, they're all defending this because they agree with it.
Excellent point again. And pointing the finger at Smotrich and calling him an enemy of civilization was true. It's so well known that Israel's own cabinet ministers boast of executing thousands and ethnically cleansing of Gaza. This they say on recordings, at press meetings, and everywhere they go. These actions by Israeli ministers and IDF personnel clearly show that those they label as savages and monsters are actually victims, while the true uncivilized ones are the perpetrators. Theo too accepted that at the start of the war in Gaza, he expected the US to intervene and stop this bloodshed, but he was so wrong. Theo, don't worry, we will enlighten you more about this point by the end of the video, and you would be surprised to know that the US actually never cared about the interests of Gaza. Let's carry on.
And then you see people jumping up and being like, Muslims shouldn't have jobs in the United States. And it's like, or in the US government, it's like, how is that better than saying Jews shouldn't have jobs? Or Christians or Buddhists? It's all the same. That kind of thinking is genocidal. It leads to the genocide we're watching right now in Gaza and to many other genocides. For the fifth time, it's not just Israel that does this, okay? But this is what we're fighting against. This is why we're better. Why are we better? Because we have more and better shopping? Or because we have, Mount Shasta and Key West? No.
Because we have some moral compass.
Exactly.
And we're able to also take care of ourselves at the same time, I think.
But our moral compass is what? It's based on what's north on our moral compass. We don't kill innocents.
Spot on. This very sentence that Tucker said reveals everything. It exposes why Islamophobia is on the rise, and it explains why Western media, Hollywood, and Western politicians are working day and night to portray Muslims as unwanted people. This is all only because they want Israel to carry on its erasure of Muslims from Middle East and continue attacking its neighboring territories. Everything is super connected. They want the world to hate Muslims so that when Israel attacks Muslims, the world just says the Muslims deserve this and don't even shed a tear on their moral executions. And you have to point out here, who also be taken thinking that the US is going to help the Gazans and would make it stop the assault on Gaza. The truth is that based on what everyone has observed over the past 2 years, the US has done nothing except act as a shield for Israel. The US has repeatedly vetoed resolutions in the UN, provided military and financial aid, silenced pro-Palestinian voices, fired employees who showed even the slightest support for Palestine, and so on. The truth is that without the help of the US, Israel wouldn't have been able to carry on this assault. The US is exactly as complicit in the suffering of Gazans as is Israel, maybe even more. Anyways, this podcast was again very interesting to watch, as Tucker proved that there's a reason why all the Western media and politicians are scared of him. He knows their dark secrets and is not at all afraid anymore spelling all those secrets out. So what do you think about the views shared by Theo and Tucker? Let us know in the comment section below. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
Je sais pas. Je pense pas qu'il va se questionner. À part les carottes, là. Il a mangé une moitié, puis l'autre moitié, il veut en savoir. Bien! Hey! Regarde! Ah, non, non. Ouais. Oh, non, non, c'est pas ça.
The last time you saw us, we were rediscovering Minnesota. But since then, we have